I already broke my thumbnail and I had only started this video. Anyway, hey beauty queens, how's it going? So today we are going to be playing with this palette, the Makeup Revolution No Photos Please palette, for the first time. It's going to be a bit of a first impressions for this palette as well as the brand as a whole. Now I know that I already swatched this, but you know how it is. Swatching, even with brushes, is going to be completely different than putting it on your face for the first time. I'm also going to talk about this guy. This is the little primer that came with it. Now, all of that aside, in case you're wondering, yes, I did get a background. And I actually have two of these. I went out and I got this. It's actually a super cheap setup, but I'm pretty excited about it. I've got this blue one, which I love this color. It's my favorite. What can I say? And then the other one is going to be a silver, so you'll be seeing that in a few videos coming up as well. We're just gonna kind of play with them together and see how those look. Maybe I will continue to do different colors, you know, based on what we're doing, but we'll probably just stick with these ones for now. In any case, hang out with me a little bit and we will see how I got this look, what I think of this look, and what I think of this brand in general based on this particular palette. Today we are going to be playing around with the No Photos Please palette, and you know I was so crazy about that blue, and now I've got this background going on. Probably we're going to be playing with the blue, so just as a refresher, or if you didn't see that other video, obviously check it out, but this is what we're playing with. And I also, of course, have the little guy, the eye primer that came along with it, so that's going to be an experience for me. You can tell that I've already done, you know, my basic makeup, the eyelashes and everything, so I'm guessing I'm just supposed to dab this on and then use my finger. I could use a brush too, but whatever. I think this is really cute how shimmery it is. I'm not sure how practical that's going to be with these shadows, considering how shimmery they are, but I guess we're gonna find out. This is really a first time kind of a thing for me. When I've used eyeshadow primers in the past, they've usually been more of a matte, so I'm not sure. It looks like I didn't even do anything. So I'm guessing that that is just to kind of grab the shadow, but I mean, it's not really covering up any discoloration. I didn't put any foundation, not foundation, I didn't put any concealer on my eyelids today because I was going to use this, and we're gonna see how that turns out. Most colors on me are kind of dark. I'm gonna try and see if this one does anything, and if not, I'll go with this guy, and then obviously the main game is gonna be this, so let's just see how that works. Okay, so I guess you can see that there's a little bit more dimension in there, so it's not the end of the world. So I guess, yes, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go straight in with that blue, and because I have this hooded eye, normally we go ahead and we do all the crease work and everything. I'm not going to do that. What I like to do with really dark colors like this is, I don't even know really if there's a name for it, but there's a specific type of eye that you can do with a hooded eye that looks really cool with edgy colors like this. And so I am just going to take this guy, this regular flat brush, and I'm going to go in with that blue, and obviously we're gonna help save the under eye with some tissue paper, but I'm just gonna go in there, and what I'm gonna do is I'm going to cover the lid with this blue, and it's gonna be like a really cool, like smudgy, kind of a smoky eye, and we're just going to be sure to only go to the natural crease, not a crease that we would otherwise create to try and, you know, make it look like we don't have hooded eyes. We're not doing that today. We're embracing it today. So just going to go in here. I am obsessed with this color. I hope that it works out as well as I think it's going to. You can see that I'm just kind of putting it in. I'm almost not even getting into the crease itself, but that's just because we want to be able to blend it out without it getting ridiculous. Just putting it in there. And you can see that even by trying to stay within that crease, it's very easy to go over, which I've obviously done. I'm looking very Martian right now. We're gonna fix that though. We're gonna blend it out with this guy, and it's gonna take forever, but you know, we've got to do what we've got to do. And I'm actually really impressed. When I did these swatches, there was a ton of fallout, but I've been doing this, and obviously I still want to keep this guy under the eyes, but you can see there's like hardly anything there. So I'm just going to keep this here for good measure, and we are just going to blend that out. Now, one thing I am finding about this particular shadow is it's surprisingly hard to blend out. As you can see, I have it's kind of a grayish color up here now, and it's not really over here. So I'm not really a fan of that. I was surprised to see that it did get a little patchy. It did kind of get everywhere. One thing that you can do if you're finding you have a problem with this is you take your concealer, you take a small brush, and like here, for example, I actually already touched up where there was a lot of blue residue. I usually avoid this actually by doing the eyeshadow first. If I'm doing a big eyeshadow look like this normally, give me a comment in the comment section down below if you want to see that process, by the way, because it's basically doing your makeup backwards to avoid having to touch things up. But anyway, so what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to have to actually go in there and just touch up a tiny amount of that gray, and I know we're gonna have to go back over that with the eyeshadow, and I typically like to avoid that, but this just seems unavoidable. That's looking a lot better. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go over that part one more time, and that really light pink was surprisingly not as reflective as I thought it was going to be, and that's okay because, you know, you don't really need that reflective of a light color unless you're doing like in here, and we'll probably do that too, but I'm just going to go back in to that color with this guy, and I'm just going to go over that space that we just did a little bit. And so we're going to go in there with that smudger brush, and again with this guy, and we are really going to smoke that out. I'm going to put some color into the corners of these eyes and see if I can't brighten this look up a little bit. This color, now that I've gotten it onto my my actual eyes, I'm not sure how I feel about it, to be honest. Like, I was all about this palette before, and I'm just taking this little guy and I'm putting it into the lightest color again. When I swatched it, I was all about this palette, and now I'm kind of thinking like, am I just getting old, or is this like a bit much and a bit annoying to work with? So if you've played around with this brand's shadows before, let me know what you thought about it, because this is a very new I mean, it's very new in the US anyway, but like, I know some of you aren't in the US, so if you had previous experience with this, let me know, because I really don't understand, like, if I'm missing something with this palette. Oh, there's fallout everywhere in this color, or if it's just me. So what I ended up doing, because I did not like when I put that pink color over the blue, they kind of had a weird purple baby, and to be quite honest, I did not like that. I was already disappointed with the non-coverage of the eyeshadow primer, and I'm actually considering that maybe the primer is what is causing all of these issues, now that I think about it, because I never use a primer. I always use this guy, and for what it's worth, I'm considering like branching out and trying different concealers, but what I really like about this one is that I can always count on this to cover up eyeshadow mistakes without it getting like crazy and cakey and flaky and disgusting. So this is so good for that. And what I ended up doing was I used this, and I Q-tipped off as much of that color as I could, and then I used that and put it over the purple that was left over, not only from the eyeshadow, but from the primer, I feel personally not doing its job. And then I just went right back in with that color, and you can see that it's much brighter now. It kind of stayed that pink color, and I'm just going to use my duster brush because I haven't learned my lesson blending these yet. So I'm just going to kind of blend that in ever so slightly. You're probably going to still see some differentiation, but to be quite honest, whatever. I'm just going to put lip color on, and this is my little nub that's kind of left over. It's my NARS I think Rikugan, I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but so I'm using this because it'll help brighten up everything. So I ended up hating that lip color with this whole look, and I ended up using this instead. This was my teensy little Makeup Forever, not Makeup Revolution, Makeup Forever lip gloss. I don't even know the color. Wow. I don't even know the color of this. It's not on, wait, is it? It's the Artist Plexi Gloss, but it doesn't say the actual color. And I really like this. I'm probably going to have to get one for myself of the normal size. Obviously, this one's dead. Like, I think I used the last of it today. Anyway, so I did that, and then full disclosure, I did end up adding more blush, contour, and everything. I didn't add any more highlight. I just did blush and contour, and then I put in more mascara. I used today this guy, the Colossal Big Shot. This is the waterproof variety. And I think that that made it look a lot better, at least in real life. I hope it does on the camera as well. Overall, my thoughts on this eyeshadow formulation and this brand, basically. Now, you know, I was totally geeked to get this. I've been a huge fangirl about what I've seen online about these. This guy, there's a reason I don't use eyeshadow primers. And I was definitely not a fan of this one. I really, really was not. I think that that's where a lot of my problems came from with the blending and everything, because the more I caked on there, and especially after I put this on there, they started to behave a little bit better. These shadows did. I mean, my final thoughts on this brand for the time being, I'm going to continue to play around with these eyeshadows. I mean, ad nauseum, I keep saying it, but I really think that this primer was the problem. You can even see it's already kind of creasing. That's insane. I haven't had a creasing problem in years, probably since high school, or at least early on in college. But like I said, once I started using this really started behaving. So I'm going to continue to play with these two together like I normally would any other eyeshadow. I'm never going to use that other thing again. And I still think that it's worth checking out if this is something that you don't have and you're looking for, like these intense but so colorful shadows. Check it out. It's $8. You can always return it or give it away, or something else and find something better if you don't like it. But if you do like it, you've saved yourself a ton of money. Just really, especially if you've had a problem with those primers, don't try this one. Don't do it. The pigmentation is great. I love the idea of the brand. Just take it with a grain of salt. You know, it's not going to be the same as something that you could get at Sephora. It's not going to be one of those really high-end brands. It's not going to be as creamy, but and it is a little hard to blend out, at least with that other product. So that's it. I hope that you enjoyed the video. I will see you again in a few days. In the meantime, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Find me all over social media, and if you feel like it, check out my other videos.